Slickmuff here. I'm back again with another video, and this one breaking down the Spider-Man PS4 2017 E3 gameplay trailer. Without further ado, let's just go ahead and get right into it and into the gameplay. So what we see in this clip from the story mode of the game is Spider-Man confronting Mr. Negative seemingly for the first time, and we get in a beautiful shot of New York City here in this shot, and we can see some of the skyscrapers in the background. These are all, of course, playable, a part of the map in game, which is really damn cool. We see a street that's extremely populated, which is something I'm very excited to see, because that is an issue that we have with games sometimes. Cough, cough. The Batman Arkham series, which of course I'm not throwing shade at. It is probably my favorite game series of all time, but of many of the issues with that series, not really having a lot of people populate the map is perhaps an issue with the game, but of course it contributes to the atmosphere in each of those titles as well. So we see these guys, the demons, and they are also cooperating with Mr. Fisk, and then we see as well Mr. Negative is going to appear in just a second. So we get some of the stealth gameplay. Right. This is probably one of the coolest things that we saw in the gameplay trailer, which is basically a Spidey mine, and especially with Spider-Man Homecoming, with Peter going very high-tech on us. That's some really cool stuff to see. So we see some interactable map elements as well, and then that is the takedown, that is slow-mo at the end that we also saw in the very first Spider-Man PS4 trailer, which is pretty damn hype. So now we're getting into some combat gameplay, and I do have a few comments to make about the combat. First of all, slow-mo is a humongous part of the gameplay from what I have seen thus far, and we will see that right here. Basically, after every button that you push, there is slow-mo of some kind, and I do understand the need for that with the Spidey sense and stuff like that, but also the combat, I feel, reminds me a decent bit of The Amazing Spider-Man 2, in regards to how you get up on somebody and hit them like 3 times, and then you can do a special combo on them sort of deal. And you know, this stuff right here looks very much so like The Amazing Spider-Man to me personally, with some cool new things like that, where you can shoot them up against the wall. It is certainly more polished, and you have a finesse to it that wasn't in those games in the past. So then what we get to here is where really the gameplay demo shines, and that is the high-octane sort of set-piece action sets. And this is where the game really goes into a cinematic sort of experience for you. And I feel, again, this is where the game is really going to shine. We have some more gameplay here. That is freaking sweet. And then so is this, where he shoots him off and then comes back down. Again, it has a polish to it that certainly we haven't seen in a Spider-Man game before, with those really, really cool special moves and takedowns that you're going to be doing with L1 and R1 primarily, it does appear, and also with Square in certain instances. But in regards to the core gameplay, where you run up and punch people, yes, it is a little bit familiar to what we've seen in the past. You know, but there's only so many things that you can do. Again, moves like that I don't really remember seeing in previous Spider-Man games. And again, a lot of slow-mo. A lot of slow-mo is really something to take away from this gameplay that we're going to be seeing a decent bit of. Some cool special moves, no doubt about it, but still a lot of slow-mo. We also see Spidey run up the wall here, which looks pretty fluid and probably even faster than The Amazing Spider-Man. And that's something I noticed about the web slinging. To me, I didn't notice too much of a difference, but what I did notice is that it's far faster and just better and bigger for the web slinging. I am interested to see how the web slinging is actually activated. So is it with L2 and R2 like in the Amazing Spider-Man games? Or is it with some other button? We'll have to wait and see to find that out, of course. But really, it's tough to tell, although they do have some QTEs on the screen to show you. But again, this is where the game really shines, with these cinematic set pieces, and really when the game is playing like a movie, in my personal opinion. Although the gameplay does seem very smooth and fun as well. So one of the things I hope to see from this game is a lot of side missions. I feel that superhero games really benefit from having those, and I assume that this game will as well. And some people are theorizing that this clip sort of makes out Mr. Negative to be the main villain of the game. I do not believe this to be true at all. In fact, I really feel that Green Goblin or somebody like that would be the main villain of the game, if anybody at all, taking the forefront. But also, again, I will prelude to other games. You don't want to show your main villain right away in a comic book game. If we were going off of Batman Arkham Knight, then that would mean Two-Face was the main villain of that game, which we all know that he certainly was not. But again, we can see with the web slinging that it is with L2 and R2, so I just saw that in the bottom right. So we are going to do L2 and R2. If you get up against a wall, it appears that you just auto get into a run mode. And then you also can hit R1 when there's those little circles, white circles. That means that you can sort of grapple to it faster. And we're going to see that right here as well. So that's just sort of a quick pull up with R1. And then L2 and R2 are going to be for your classic web slinging. So we are following the helicopter. You see the street is populated really well. That's a very cool action set piece. I don't know if that's planned or if like a lot of different map environments do that. We do see a lot of transition to cutscenes in the gameplay, but I have to say I really enjoy it. Again, I feel that's where the gameplay is really strong, and I'm glad that they do those cuts. I'm certainly not complaining about it, even though, again, you know, basically all you're doing is hitting Q to E's at this point in the game. It does transition you into moments where you are actually playing, like this. And we can see that this is definitely not a QTE sort of deal. We saw this in the coffee shop, this sort of gameplay where you're parkouring around. Definitely not QTEs or anything. You're just running. And this is just beast. Absolutely amazing. Spider-Man, the voice actor is amazing, and he's witty and cunning, and the lines are great. Again, do I feel Mr. Negative will be the main villain of this game? Absolutely not, but that's just me personally. So again, we do get some nice cinematic shots, a phenomenal score it seems that we have in the game, and some more QTEs to save the action. So at least it's not full-blown cutscenes. You know, this is, obviously. But you do get some interaction in the gameplay with L2 and R2 and stuff like that, and a little bit of interaction to make you feel like you're not just watching a movie entirely, which is good, of course. So again, another QTE right here, L2 and R2, it seems to be the main buttons to deploy your webs, and we also see that circle and X appear to be the primary buttons for combat, and X is to jump, which is returning. So quite similar to the Amazing Spider-Man. Also, L1 and R1 are going to be used for you know, rapid movement through the city when web slinging. So that is the end of it, and we do see the Insomniac logo and the unfortunate announcement that the game will not be coming out until 2018. And by the fact that it doesn't say spring 2018, I would really not expect this game before summer, because they would have noted early 2018 or spring 2018 if it was going to be coming out then, and we do get that nice tease of Miles Morales. So guys, that is the Spider-Man PS4 gameplay demo. I was very pleased with this demo, and although I wish we got it a little sooner and didn't have to wait a full year for it, and I'm still thirsting for more, because the game is probably not going to come out until summer 2018, maybe November 2018, it is okay. I was really hoping that was not going to be the case. It does appear that will be the case now, though. Overall, though, I'm very pleased with seeing this gameplay demo, and I thought that it worked very well for Marvel and Sony to show this at the end of their showcase. I thought overall the showcase was very bland and weak, but this was a gem amidst the rough with a lot of VR titles that a lot of people like myself don't really care too much about. But overall, Spider-Man, really excited for it. Again, the cinematic just sort of grandeur of it, and the city, and seeing the city and knowing this is all rendered in game is really phenomenal, and New York City looks absolutely stellar. Hope you guys have enjoyed the video, and if you did, feel free to give it a thumbs up. My name is Slickmoth, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Be sure to like the video if you enjoyed and want more Spider-Man PS4 gameplay news and everything above. Unfortunately, we won't have any gameplay for a while, I don't think, but you never know. We could get some later in this year as well. Okay, hope you guys have enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one.